So welcome to the instructional handover video for the Bailey Approach SE625, this 2014 edition. So what we have just behind the drivers is the toilet set. You have two parts to the toilet. So the top one is the rinse. That's what you'll fill up with just water and your pink solution. And then underneath is your actual toilet set where your waste goes into, and this is where you put your green or blue chemicals. So with the valve in the right position, it will just pull out. You have your little flush for getting rid of any of the vacuum when you're emptying it, and the little screw off cap to empty the waste that's in there. A little handle just locks in place just there, and then it will close and lock in position for when you're traveling away. Underneath is your lever for your wastewater, so this is what you'll need to empty any water that's gone into the grey tank via the sinks and the shower. We've got the gas locker area, so we've got a regulator. This has actually got a changeover valve fitted to it, so you can actually run two bottles and it will change over. You can just change the position of the bottle by spinning this little angle around, and again this points to either this side or the opposite side to decide which you want to run it on. The vehicle comes with a pack, so in that pack you've got some original features, handbooks, manuals, things like that came supplied with the vehicle. It utilises a water infilling system, so the whale system on this particular vehicle. It does come with the attachment that you see here, which will attach to the main hose pipe on site, either the screw or the push fitting. And we also have in the pack, just here, a separate one if you wanted to run it through a water carrier system. So they're the two bits that are supplied with this particular model. Behind that we have the vent for the truma heating. Don't need to touch this or do anything with this in this instance, but do be careful, it does get warm. On the back we've got the pre-mounts for the bike racks, big opening window. And then on this side of the vehicle we've got your locker area where you will find your leisure battery is located just there, and the mains plug-in point for the vehicle for plugging into the electrics. You'll see there's a little cutout and that just slots in there nice and neatly. Just lock it in place and you'll see that the cable just fits in place nice and easily there. So front of the hard, behind the habitation door you've got the fridge vents, so you can buy winter covers if you want to use these all year round. And then we've got the habitation door that works off the central locking. We've got a fly screen, a bin and a blind. In front of that we've got the diesel filler point, so that can be just located here. It isn't AdBlue on this particular model, so you don't need to worry about that. And then the bonnet release catch can be found just here by pulling the lever down. Underneath the passenger seat we have got the toolkit that's supplied with the vehicle from new, so that's where that can be found, just there. And then we have glove boxes below and above, just for storing items away. We've got electric windows and we've got the Remis cab blinds, both on the side windows and also located by pulling the two together on the front windows. So that's the outside done. Let's move on inside. So once we're inside the vehicle, we can see we can manually lock the door by pressing it just there and open it again by pulling it twice to open out there. The main control panel can just be found just above here, and it's a pretty easy system to navigate in this respect. So we have the main master button. So this is going to turn all your power on and your power off, and it will automatically tell you what's happening on the screen above. So button to the right is the pump for the water pump, so make sure you have water in there. We've got the awning, which will turn on the outside awning light, and then we've got the main lights, which will turn on the lights within the vehicle. Above it we've got a thermostat to tell us what temperature it's going to get to. And then below we've got an entering button here. So this enter button, I'll just keep that steady for you, will allow us then to navigate through the different options. So your water level, waste level, filler tank option, external temperature, user settings, and then internal temperature, battery selections, ampage draw, voltage of the leisure battery, and then back to your time. So these 2 buttons at the bottom here, or 3 buttons as you see it, will allow you to navigate through the system. So that they're the enter and the left and right buttons. Your main buttons, which control the master, so that's your power, the pump, the lights inside, and the awning light. So that is your main control panel, just located just above the door. We've got carbon monoxide detector and the smoke alarm that's just found there. And then what we would need to do first is we will need to put the water bung in the fresh water tank. That is found under that little hatch underneath the carpet. And in the bottom of the tank, you will see there is little fitting just there. Now that is your drain. So you'll need to have that in place to fill up the fresh water tank. And when you're emptying it, you'll simply just pull it out. It is a plastic bung that just sits in there to stop the tank from emptying. If you forget it, it'll just roll straight through the water the minute you turn the water on from the external fitting I've shown you. And it will just drain through the tank and onto the floor. So make sure that you do have that in place. Once it's in place, just pop on the black tank, your little red water filler cap. Just like so. And then pop in place the little hatch cover, and then that's all you need to do until you're then going to empty the vehicle on moving away from the vehicle. Once you've filled that up with water, you will also need to go to the boiler. Now that's located, switch is just there, and the panel just underneath here, which I'll remove the seats and just show you where that's located. Your boiler is located underneath this seat here. Now there is a drain point which is easily located just here with the little yellow toggle valve. Now in the position that it's at the moment, it would drain through the boiler and onto the floor. So to allow you to fill it up, you'll need to flick that little button down, either forward there or the opposite way to the rear. But as long as it's down like that, that will allow the boiler to fill up and allow you to have the water coming into the boiler for your hot water. So that's that area just there. So once we've filled up the water, we'll then want to come to the control panel just above here. And these is what I'll show you to talk you through the heating controls. So we've 2 separate little controls. The top control is the control for either the hot water, the heating, or both hot water and heating at the same time. So we have 4 different positions, 2 up and 2 down, and a little circle in the middle, which is off. So you'll turn the little outer ring to either up for 40 degrees water, up for 60 degree water, down for heating only, and then down again for heating and hot water. Yeah, so I'll just recap it for you. So the middle position is off. The down is heating only. So just the flame is heating only. The one below that, which says 60 and the flame, is heating and hot water. The one above, which is 40 with the little line, is 40 on your hot water only. And then 60 with the little line is hot water only at 60 degrees. Yeah. Now, like I say, please don't do this if you aren't got water in the boiler. But you can run your heating, as I'm going to show you now, without any water in there. So flick it down one for your heating, and the temperature thermostat is the inner little dial, which you just twist to the position that you want it. Obviously 5 being the warmest and 1 being the coolest. So top one is what you were trying to do. So heating, hot water, or heating and hot water. The one below that then is the actual source of heating that you're trying to do. So again, you're moving the outer ring. So we've got 2 kilowatt electric at the top, 1 kilowatt electric, gas only, gas with 1 kilowatt electric, and gas with 2 kilowatt electric. So again, deciding which one you want, you'll flick it on and it will light up to tell you that it is operational. It does come up with a red warning light. It's telling you that you haven't got that source working. Either you're not plugged into mains, the post is blown, or the electric or the gas side of it isn't turned on. So there are your heating controls. That's probably the most difficult bit to get your head around. And remember, when you are then going back off and stopping, turn the top one to that little circle, and that will turn off all the power to the boiler. So we've got the boiler, the hot water. What we need to do then is, once we've got it in the system, and again, just to recap, to get it through into the vehicle, you'll need to pull it through the boiler. You do this by turning the pump on the control panel and turning the taps, which are clearly marked on the top here for hot and cold, to the hot position. Run your pump until the water runs at a steady stream. Yeah, so just run it through there until you get a steady stream. Once it's steadily coming through, turn off your tap, and then you can go on to your hot water controls. So your taps just work like they normally do at home. They'll work on demand. So when you turn the tap on, as long as the pump option's turned on your control panel, it will just filter through the actual sink and then go into your wastewater tank. Cooker, we've got a gas cooker, so it works just like any gas cooker will at home. You'll need to just have your little igniter option just there, but that will just ignite both your oven and the igniters for here, with the little switch just down here. And we've got 1, 2, 3 and 4. Please ensure that you don't pull that glass lid down until it's completely cooled down, otherwise it will shatter. We have got a grill at the top, which is controlled just by the button on the left. And then underneath that, we have a fully operational oven, which is controlled by the button on the right. The 12 o'clock position on both of them is off. Yeah. Underneath, we've got a little button that presses in, and we've got your isolation valves for your gas. This is a service isolation. It's clearly marked what each of the operations are for, just there. But only turn the gas off here if you've been instructed to by an expert, or if you generally do think there is a gas appliance leaking. But generally, always isolate the gas at the actual bottle itself. Next to that, we've got a little storage racks and a little drawer for your kitchen items. In front of that, we've got your fridge. Now, this is a 3-way fridge. So we've got off at the top, mains, and again, it lights up nice and bright to tell you that we are. So that is for your mains power. The next option is your 12-volt option. Now, this only works when the engine's running. It does not work when the engine's turned off and you are stationary. So just remember that. 12-volt only when the engine's running. Or lastly, the gas option. Now, for the gas option to ignite, you're going to be using this little sight glass here. Now, you'll see the little orange indicator is in the white section at the minute. Obviously, we've no gas on the vehicle. So what you'll need to do to get the gas on, you will need to press these 2 buttons. So that in and that igniter until that little orange label goes into the green. And then once it is, release it. Or if it stays in the green with your gas on, then you know it's right. If it goes back, you have an issue with the gas. Just double check that the gas is pulling through to the vehicle correctly. To cool down the fridge or warm it up, you'll need to just turn the little temperature gauge. So the coldest and the warmest just there. When you come to turn off the unit, in the off position at the top, it will turn off the light and you'll know it's completely turned off. And we have a little freezer section just above it there. Everything I show you in here will be in the handbook as well, guys. Down here, you have a little heater button to heat the fresh water tank in the cold climate. So that is your heater button. And then we have a little pull-up area here where there is just a little bit of storage for you and a couple of fuses just to remember if you forget. The main storage area on most of the Baileys can be located above, and you just pull the cupboards handles up just like so, and you'll see that little fitting moves. So again, they are designed to be used and for your belongings to be in there. Just make sure that when you're closing it, you'll hear that clicking, pinging noise. That will make sure that it is securely stored away. And again, you've storage along the back and along both sides of the vehicle. So again, your little check to do when moving away is just make sure that these are all in a clip position and then nothing moves in transit. Kitchen area, you've got little push fittings. We've got the microwave, which will work on mains only, so just be aware of this. Sometimes people like to take out the microwave trays when they're driving along as well, and that is the plug socket just in there for the microwave if you want to know where that is. We've also got a couple of little light switches which are located for the kitchen area just here, and then these little downlighters, they turn off just on the little rocker switches themselves just there. The vehicle has fully fitted fly screens and blinds on all the windows. Yeah, so every one that you'll see has a fly screen and a blind on there. They just clip together and then go down and go up depending on where you want it positioned, just like so. And then the windows will open just by releasing the buttons just on there. Just remove that, it's a little safety catch that the customer's fitted just to stop them from being opened, and then that will open the window. To release it fully, you'll just need to release the wheels, open the window, twist the wheels back in place, and that will leave the window open for you. Obviously repeat the loosening to close it and then lock it back in place before you move off. Again, you can fit the little protectors just down here to stop them from being opening. Little added security factor. And they're on all the windows around the rear. So, a bit of a bonus for you guys. TV bracket can just be located here, and you'll see there is an aerial 12 volt and a main socket located just there for it. In the wardrobe area itself, we have the booster box, which needs turning on. Just a little rocker switch at the top to turn it on. You'll see the light illuminates, and then the pole, which is released here when you wanted to use it, and then push the pole up, push it down if you need to gain a better reception. Make sure it's pulled down and locked in place just like that before you're driving off. We've got some mats in there and some winter covers as well that will be supplied with the vehicle. Storage underneath in that area there as well, and then not forgetting that we have storage underneath the bed on both sides. Mains cable that's going to come with the vehicle on this particular one. Don't always come with them, so bear in mind if you're buying a second-hand one, sometimes they don't. And then we've got the RCD breaker at the top. So this button here is your little test button. Press that, and if the power's working to the vehicle, it should turn off that little switch at the side there. The other ones clearly marked underneath what they are for, so if you've got a problem or a fault, it will tell you. Underneath at the bottom here, we've got your bank fuses, all nice and neatly labelled up for you, so you do know in the eventuality of something failing or a fuse blowing, where you will find that underneath that seat to the passenger side. When moving off, just make sure that they're all pressed in place, and again you have another access underneath at the back, just in there. Roof lights, these push and pull down and open up. These two are also fitted with fly screens and blinds, and they're the same in this middle area at the rear and also in the central area, exactly the same. The lights above here you can turn off just on the side here, or you can have it on single or a double brightness depending on where you want it. Just in there, same on that one in the rear area there as well. Behind the seat we've got the table that just slides out, just removing that, and then free stands up when you want to eat and entertain in the rear. We've got the light switch for the bathroom area. In here we've got the flush button for the toilet and an indicator to tell you when the toilet's getting full. And I mentioned at the beginning of the video the valve. So this is the blade valve just here, and you must have that pointing towards the front of the vehicle to pull the toilet cassette out. When you're using the toilet, you slide that towards the rear of the vehicle. Do what you need to do. Press the button for the flush tank, and then once you finish, close it so that smells stay inside the toilet cassette. The shower area, again, probably a good idea to pull it through with the heating and the hot water when you're doing it. So just make sure it comes through there. And then we've got the little turnbuckles, which make sure that they're in place when you are driving away. Allows you then to have a little cubicle area, just like so, so that the floor doesn't get wet. Pop it back in and then lock it in place for your onward travels, just like so. We've got a toilet roll holder there, and we've got some storage which can just be found underneath here. Couple of coat hooks as well, and then again your light off when you're wanting to use it. The carpets are fully removable, so you can remove them if you want to do. If you don't and you want them down, they do also press stud onto the floor points within the vehicle, so it's your choice of what you want to do in that respect. Storage wise continues at the front. We've got pockets to either side just here, and then again storage just above in here. So plenty of storage, guys. Couple of reading lights which just turn on and off just there, and again just here, so you've got space there. The seats, as you see, do spin round. They'll slide forward and backwards by lifting up that little bar there, and then you will need to slide them round to just miss the door. We have height adjusters on the side, so just pull the flap for the front and pull the flap for the back. Back adjusters just there, and then armrest adjusters just on the arms. So slide them back round and then lift up the bar which is between your leg to gain your access in there. So swiveled around, you're ready for your onward journey. So as I mentioned earlier, you've got your glove boxes just there, you've got your air conditioning, you've got your radio. It's a 6-speed gearbox. It comes with your cruise control, your lights. Indicators are also found on that one as well. Windscreen wipers are on this one. On the end of it, you've got your trip counter, which will display just on the dash here, show you what your range and your mileage and your consumption is. We've got your ignition barrel just there, your steering wheel controls just there, your electric windows and your mirror controls. Now the mirror controls will do top and bottom on both of the mirrors as well. That pretty much concludes most things. The engine battery is located underneath this carpet there, and you also have another lock-in glove box in there. But that pretty much concludes the handover video. When you're leaving the vehicle, press off the master button and make sure you remove your mains cable. The bed itself can be 2 singles, as I think we've shown you previously on our sales video, or pulled together. Before I leave your video, again, just be gentle with this. Sometimes it's easier to move your cushions off. The 2 outer cushions then go into the middle, and that will then formulate your bed. Depends on whether you want to have it as a large double or have it as a single. And again, when we're going back, you've just got to lift it over the little latch. Be gentle going back in, and then push it back in to the situ there. And then we're ready for the use. But thank you for watching our video. We'd love to have your feedback and your comments. More importantly, we hope you enjoy your motorhome. And if there's any questions, please contact us. Thank you.